Good morning, family. Good morning. Yes. I hope you're doing well at home and in the room. Yes, it's good to be together. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, amen, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Yes, I do. Oh, doesn't it feel good to be together, singing music you know and love? I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Yes, I am singing again. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Let's choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. You know, you're always choosing. What are you choosing? Yeah, let's choose abundance. I'm choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose abundance today. Yeah, let's choose heaven. Let's choose. Let's choose. Let's choose heaven. Let's choose. Let's choose. We got a chance to sing it again. Yeah. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven. Yeah. day. Yes, 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 yes. Life is so good. Let's reframe that. Life is good because we lean into the connection that we have with the Spirit. Reframing life, if need be, into this holy, sacred place. Amen. Living a life that is filled with love that we share together. Amen. Amen. This is the beautiful music of Donna Michael. She's just up the road a piece. I think Reverend Donna by now, right? Yeah. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, yes you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine so bright, and we shine so bright. And so it is. We would like to rest now and enjoy the Flames of Faith video.
Lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people in all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and the presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them at this center, and for all religions unnamed in this ceremony.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, yeah. Today is the day that God hath made, and we are rejoicing and so glad in it because we've got a lot to rejoice about. Yes, we do. My name is Idella Veal, and I proudly serve as a licensed practitioner here at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We are a center that educates and engages the seeker on their spiritual path. As a member of the global movement, Centers for Spiritual Living, our mission is to provide spiritual tools for the personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And our vision is a world that works for everyone. All right, no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, where doors swing back on welcome hinges, is where you belong. Can I get an amen? For more information about today's service and ways to connect during the week, please take a moment to scan the QR code found either on the back of your seat or in front of you, or the one displayed on the monitor. We are grateful for your presence here this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's sing together. Come on, family. I am grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for, amen, all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears as you and me. Yes, the love of God is He. Amen. In the room and at home. And so it is.
And so it is, and so it is. Good morning. It's a great day to be together today. I'm David Alexander, the spiritual director here. My pronouns are he and his, and it is a great day. We're starting off a new series, and Idella started something, and Penelope added to it with the little organ. I felt something in the room. Watch out. I don't know where this is going to go tonight. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was up late last night at HRC dinner in downtown Atlanta. We're grateful Gabrielle was there. Tom was there. Reverend Jean and Shannon and myself and Rachel. Who else do we have there? David Aurelio. SLC was representing. By the way, Tom, I want to recognize Tom. Last night was the 35th annual HRC dinner in Atlanta. Tom has been there 34 years. Representing us, bringing people and filling tables and being a table captain and all that good stuff. So we got to hear from both of our senators last night, U.S. Senators. William Barber got the Civil Rights Award. It was an amazing evening and inspiring. And so who knows what's going to happen today? That's what I'm saying. I got home a little late to do the notes, but we're starting a new series today for the month of May. It's called Light from the Shadows. We're going to be talking about the inner and outer spectrum of living. We're going to be talking about how to bring hope and light and all that light represents out of dark places. We're going to be talking about mental health awareness, because that is Mental Health Awareness Month is the month of May. All of those aspects. And so today we're talking about the congruency of our inner and outer lived experiences. The affirmation for today is this: my inner journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. I allow my journey of becoming to be informed by my doing, and my doing to be informed by my becoming. I'll say it again, one line at a time, and then a third time ask you to, we'll say it all together. So this time I'll do each line and then ask you to say it after me. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. I allow my journey of becoming to be informed by my doing, and my doing to be informed by my becoming. All right. Now, third time, take a deep breath. Together with one voice. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. I allow my journey of becoming to be informed by my doing, and my doing to be informed by my becoming. And so it is. All right, give yourselves a hand for being here today. Let's have a great day together.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, Penelope. I invite you now to be with me in affirmative prayer. If you would sit all in your seats in a position of receiving, feet flat on the floor. Breathe, if you would, long, deep, relaxing breaths, breathing in the power of God. God is the breath of life. Breathe in, breathe out. Letting that breath flow in and all around you right here, right now. I'll say this prayer in first person and ask that whatever resonates with you, if you would receive that as your own. This is what I know. I know that God is all there is. God is everywhere, all the time, just all over the place. I know that I am one with this forever evolving power of oneness and allness. And I invite right here, right now, that power to surround all of us. And I really don't have to invite God. God's always there. We just need to be reminded of that. Just let it be in our knowing right here, right now, that the co-pilot is always there. I know that this spiritual living center of Atlanta is the place where I know I belong. And absolutely excited about our growth and our move. And we know that as we move on this journey, that it is all directed by God. We know that within the next month, this transition will all be of God, smooth, elevated, and directed by God. We know that our members are coming in droves, coming from the north, the east, the west, and the south to see what's going on here and to be a part of it. Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta is setting the world on fire. I belong, we belong to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta that celebrates our oneness, celebrates self-expression, celebrates racial diversity, celebrates the LGBTQ and community, celebrates the diversity of all. We know that in this transition, we must stay awake, stay available, enough, and always be ready. I'm giving thanks right here, right now, for the practitioners that are giving prayer to all of this. But foremost, let me thank our leader, Reverend David, our magnificent leader. We give thanks for him. We give thanks for the board that gives us such divine directions. We give thanks for every member that has come through the door and the ones that are to come. We give thanks knowing that it is all in divine order. I release these truths to the law, knowing that it is done, all is well, as we say together, and so it is.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Good morning, Yolanda.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why does my heart feel lonely when I've lost heaven and home? When spirit is my portion, my constant friend is He. God's eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on that sparrow, and I know God watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Ah, God's eye is on because I'm free. Oh, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know God watches
Yolanda. Oh, so beautiful. Yolanda Williams and her ministry, so beautiful.
Wow. Whew. Right. I mean, Yolanda Williams. God is good. Eyes on the sparrow. He had a hard act to follow after last night at HRC and this morning with Idela's prayer. Penelope stays close to that keyboard. We may never get out of here. That's what I'm saying. Take a deep breath. I am awake. I am available. I am enough. And I am ready. Let's do it again. I am awake. I am available. I am enough. And I am ready. Let's go. All right. Light from the shadows. Light. Oh, do we need a little bit of light from the shadows right now? As we look at what's happening here in Atlanta and Dallas, Texas, and all around the world, particularly in this nation right now. We need a little bit of light from the shadows, do we not? Yes. Because the shadows are lurking and looming large. And so this month we're going to talk about this aspect of where light comes from. And we tend to think that light casts the shadows, that there's this play of light and dark, but there's really the dynamic of the inner and the outer that is unfolding in each of us all of the time. There's the conscious and the subconscious. There's awake and asleep. There's aware and not aware. There's all these different layers, the inner and the outer. We process internally through our thoughts, emotions, and feelings, but we express as spiritual beings and as human beings outwardly through our intellect, emotions, and interactions in the world. Both of these positions that you can think of as yin and yang dynamics are informative to our spiritual growth and development. They provide flavor and color and nuance to the experience of life. Both have depth and breadth that help shape our combined reality. When they are in alignment, the inner and the outer, then we have something that we would call harmony, wholeness, expressing in our life. When they're out of balance or out of alignment, we have what we would call discord, disharmony, right? And so just that framework right there, we can kind of check in with our individual life and also with the life that we're experiencing around us, because it's all the same thing, right? God is all there is. It's only one thing expressing. There's really no difference between kind of out there and right here, right? It's just a matter of scale, but the principles across that scale are really the same. And so we could check in and say, is there discord? Is there alignment? Is there harmony? Is there wholeness? What's being expressed? What's not being expressed? What's being processed? What's not being processed? And when we have something that is out of alignment, we have this discord, we have friction, we have disease, which serve to signal our attention, to get our attention, and serve our awareness to get us back on the path of alignment. Right? Which is really important insight, because it means that we don't get to judge or label something as, coming from the darkness or not, or being out of place or out of alignment or whatever thing we want to do with it, and then cast it aside, right? Because to do that would be to also cast aside the information that thing has to get us back into alignment so that we're experiencing more harmony. You follow? So we play this game with inner and outer and light and dark and all of that I think sometimes does us a disservice because we're not really paying attention. But before I get too far, we're going to get into all of that. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the tragedies here in Atlanta and the life that we lost. We lifted her name last night at the HRC dinner. I think we should do it here too. Amy St. Pierre is a 39-year-old woman who, among the 5 that were part of the mass shooting downtown here in Atlanta last week, had lost her life. I just want you to say her name for a moment. Amy St. Pierre. Amy St. Pierre. Amy St. Pierre. And I'd had in my notes to say that this is the most recent. And then I got home last night, about 11:30 at night, and started doing my notes for today, and, saw my phone notices and news notifications that, in case you haven't looked or paid attention to the news late last night or this morning in Dallas, Texas last night, at a outlet mall outside of the suburbs of Atlanta, another mass shooting, 8 or 9, I think, 8 dead, 9, numbers increased since I've tuned into it, 9, 7 more injured, sent to the hospital at an outlet mall in the suburbs. And we keep saying that mental health is some part of this process. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I want to actually drill down on that a little bit today, if I can. Because I think it's important, because just like what I was just explaining, where we kind of play this linear game with inner, outer, good, bad, these polarities of labels that we make, that sometimes we, in our consciousness, play with it in such a way that allows ourselves to get away with not looking at what needs to be looked at. I think we do the same thing with when we kind of use this label and we say, well, there's this, you're not talking about the mental health component. There's a mental health component, right? The person wasn't well. Well, of course they weren't well. They decided to shoot up, right? Of course they weren't well, yeah? And I could go down the list to shoot up, a mall, a movie theater, a doctor's office, a hospital, a person in their driveway, a person at their front door, a person at their back door, a school, right? On and on and on and on. And I think sometimes we use this label of mental health as a way to sort of cast it aside. That somehow that makes it, well, right, I don't have a mental health problem, right? The vast majority of gun owners don't have a mental health problem. We don't have a mental health. It's just this group over here. There's obviously something wrong. And then it allows us to kind of put it in a box, in a container, so that we don't look at it. Does that make sense? It's not right, but it makes sense. Right? That's why I want to be clear. I'm not, right? It's not what we want to be doing, but I want to be clear about what I think sometimes the way we're approaching this. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we put together a few little graphics for social media on our Instagram and Facebook page for SLCA, and also I shared them on my page. I want to encourage you to find these, share them on your pages. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, or make your own. But we put together a few at the beginning of the month, to just presence the idea that, first of all, in case anybody in the room is feeling this way, right? It's okay to not be okay. That in and of itself can be a new thought in New Thought communities, because we think we're so positive and we're so upbeat and so, look on the bright side of life kind of people, that sometimes we just need to presence the idea that it's okay to not be okay all the time. Because there's some stuff going on. There's some shadows, right? So that's first and foremost. We put together kind of 5 ways there are many, many, many dozens, hundreds of ways to take care of your mental health. But we wanted to put some out there and get them circulated. So we encourage you to check these out, share them, or make your own list. Come up with your own list, make your own little graphics and icons, or post, or make a video, or do whatever you want. 988, if you don't know, is the new mental health hotline for information. So it's like 911 or 411 for information. It's pound 988 that you can get to talk to somebody or figure out what the resources are nearest you for mental health crises. CSL has a World Ministry of Prayer that you can call at any time, 24/7. It's 720-279-8981, or you can email them oneprayer@csl.org, and they'll respond to you with prayer, uplifting, affirmative prayer for anything you want in your life at any time. It's a really, really good resource. I use it a lot. So there's the phone number again. And again, you can find all of these online. Journaling, meditation, all of our spiritual practices, taking some time to be outside. Number 4, spend some time off of social media. Turn off the phone. And you hear me talk a lot about what's going on in the news. I think it's important to be informed and updated, but it's also important to unplug and get out in nature, go to a festival, be in your backyard, do some gardening, whatever it is, to unplug a little bit as well. And then the 5th one that we wanted to emphasize here is schedule some time with one of our prayer practitioners. They're available for you for personal prayer after the service, but you can also spend half-hour or hour sessions with them by appointment. You can find our list of practitioners on our website. They're going to be asked to stand up later in the service. And all CSLs around the world have prayer practitioners that are, now, they're not mental health counselors. They're prayer practitioners. I want to make this clear. Prayer is helpful. And it is curative in many, many ways. But if you need deeper mental health work, they'll be able to know that, and to refer you to get that other work as well. But don't let, one outweigh the other, right? It's all approaches all the time, right? A quick prayer on a Sunday after service, an appointment to find out what's, really going on the deeper, and the other services that mental health professionals provide. All of it works together. So I just wanted to kind of presence those as we start today for mental health awareness. Again, encourage you to make your own list or share that list with others. Allow me, if I could today, to focus on what I want to teach, what I want to get through here, and then kind of bring it back to what I presenced here in the beginning. The topics. I have this list every week, but I don't always share it with you. I thought it was a good idea last night, and I think I started it last week. I was like, I should just tell you what the principle is, right? Or what the practice is, or what the, So I did that, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and I want to keep that going. So the tools for today are these. So you go, what did he talk about? Or somebody asks, or you want to share it with somebody. Try to make it really simple and clear for you. What did he talk about? The principle today is congruence. Congruence. The spiritual law, very similar to that, but it's called the spiritual law of correspondence. Very important spiritual law, not one that I have talked about a lot recently, so we're going to spend some time on it all month long. And the spiritual practice for today is visioning. Spiritual practice is visioning. So as we talk about how to understand and frame our awareness of light from the darkness, the yin and yang of energy and the inner and outer. How do we draw hope from tragedy? The first thing that we do is when darkness kind of comes into our experience or awareness is we go to what we know. We go to our principles. We go to our practice. We say, well, what do I know spiritually about the universe that might help me in this moment, right? And we lean on that. And I would suggest, as I've already kind of mentioned, that one of the ways that we do that, I think, is actually doing a disservice to us. Can I go there? Right? I want to unpack this a little bit because there's the thing that we immediately go to, and I think our dependency on immediately going to this is actually getting in the way of our progress. And the thing is this: it is this idea that thoughts are things. Anybody heard that? Thoughts are things. Ernest Holmes said it. Wayne Dyer used it as a book title. Didn't credit Ernest Holmes, but anyway, that's a different subject for a different day. But it's been around, right? So, like Ernest Holmes didn't create it either. But the idea that thoughts are things, the idea that things come from the invisible realm, that the chair that you're sitting in had to be an invisible idea in somebody's head, designed, structured, the bolts, the colors, the everything. It was not a physical form. It was a thought, fully and completely in the mind of somebody, in the mind of the creator, in the realm of the invisible before it became form. And so thoughts are things, thoughts become things from the invisible to the visible. This is kind of the trajectory of creation. Yes? So what does it mean? It means that when we have results, things in the outer world that are experiences that we don't like, that we find unpleasant, that don't match what our desire is, etc., then we kind of look at the formula. And sometimes we take this sort of Newtonian, simplistic breakdown approach, this Newtonian science approach that basically kind of says A plus B equals C. And if you don't like C, then change A or B, right? And that's our default that we go to, I think, in New Thought. And it makes sense that we would go there, right? So you say, well, they're teaching me thoughts are things and my affirmations and think positive thoughts. And if I have a negative experience, then change it to positive experience and positive thoughts. Ernest Holmes, I could throw up dozens of slides here, for the next hour. I'm not going to. Ernest Holmes and others that would say, if I habitually live with thoughts of love and peace and joy and happiness, then I will tend to experience love and peace and joy and happiness. If I habitually live with thoughts of, lack, disease, etc., then I tend to manifest those experiences, right? It's a very simple kind of breakdown of the process. It's kind of like, the old joke of going to the doctor. It hurts when I do this. Well, then don't do this, right? Stop doing that. But I think we're forgetting when we break it down that in that kind of linear fashion, because, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, the world isn't linear. That's kind of the problem here. That's kind of the essence of the problem here, right? We want to think of things from left to right on our page and linear from A to B and just starting point to end point, and because it helps our brain kind of understand and break it down and understand the process. But the world is actually a lot more fluid, dynamic, multidimensional than that, and therefore we need an understanding that is fluid, dynamic, and multidimensional in order to really get at what's going on, right? So the principle of congruence says, what is congruence? First of all, it's just a state of harmony, an agreement between differing elements, consistency. The law of correspondence is a spiritual law that's been talked about for, Ernest Holmes talks a lot about it. He got it from a guy by the name of Emanuel Swedenborg. Anybody know Emanuel? Any Swedenborg fans? Hey, a few of you. Awesome. Excellent job. If you don't know, he's from Sweden, by the way. Shockingly enough, from like the 16th, 17th century. Look him up. Fascinating mystic, seer, inventor, creator, scientist of just amazing, amazing life. And like towards the end of his sort of public career, where he was a scientist, inventor, and all this stuff, he had this huge mystical awakening and spiritual experience, and then dedicated from like age 60 forward to all of these spiritual writings and the stuff that came forward. A lot of it became the basis of some of the stuff we do in New Thought. One of them, his great gift, his great contribution to our general milieu of thought in New Thought is called the law of correspondence. And the law of correspondence is basically as above, so below. Now, he didn't come up with that out of thin air. It's also tied to the Hermetic teachings that go back to like the 6th, 7th century and so on and so forth. It's one of the Hermetic principles that go back to Greek wisdom and so on and so forth. It's been around for a long, long time. That's the point I'm trying to make. The law of correspondence says that there's a spiritual plane of mind and a nature plane of mind. There's God the creator, and then the world that it created. There's mind and spirit, and then there's body. There's the spiritual sense of the world, or of the word, and the literal sense of the word. There's the intention, and there's the action. There's the inner and the outer, the thought and the thing. Everybody with me? Light corresponds with wisdom because it enlightens the mind, so on and so forth. He wrote a lot about this. I'm not going to go over all of those things today. But he says basically this, that your outer life is a reflection of your inner life. There's a direct correspondence between the way you think and feel on the inside and the way you act and experience on the outside. Your relationships, your health, your wealth, all of those things are positioned in mirror images to the inner life and the world on the inside. Ernest Holmes says, God is an infinite presence and an indwelling reality. An infinite presence and an indwelling reality. The silent whispering, he says, of the inner presence comes to each as a divine revelation, an inner communion of the individual spirit with the oversoul. There is through the door of our own thought, he says, therefore, it is through the door of our own thought that we enter into universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life, love, truth, and beauty. And so we have this distribution center, which is our mind, and the place to check in and regulate and say, what's going on? When I have an outer experience, I can check in and say, well, what's happening? What's the thought behind the experience? What's my thought about the experience? What's the thought that's underneath that? Who am I with that experience? Who am I without that experience? Who would I be? Who would the world be? Et cetera, et cetera. You follow what I'm saying? This inner inquiry is all pointing to the law of correspondence, because the universe seeks to correspond, or as Ernest Holmes would say, the first law of order in the universe is the law of harmony. Right? The universe seeks to be a universe of harmony. It wants the outer to match the inner. So disharmony, dis-ease, and dysfunction is the way that we see or understand that things are not in alignment, and therefore get things back on track. Right? All right. So therefore, we don't abandon the negative. We examine it. We don't ignore the unpleasant. We engage it. We don't shy from the uncomfortable. We embrace it. Why? Because it has something to teach us. Because it has insight and information embedded within it about what's out of alignment in consciousness, so that we can fix it. Are you with me? Because the desire is the harmony and the wholeness to be revealed. And so when we turn away from the negative, we have given it this power. Right? Ernest Holmes says, but we're supposed to turn away from the condition. Somebody might go, but Dave, on page, don't call me Dave. It's just my internal voice. No. Right here, he says, right, we should turn away from the condition. We should turn the other cheek. We should not look at the bad, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between, right? Is that right? Did I get that right? So what about that? What am I so? That's why I don't watch the news. That's why I don't. When you said that was happening in the world, I came in this morning. I didn't even know what you were talking about, because I don't pay attention. I don't allow that to enter my consciousness space, because I don't want to participate in. Anybody? Right? It's common in our spiritual community. But see, here's the thing. When he says turn away from the condition, what he means is turn away from the power that we've given it as an entity in and of itself. There's not a fight between light and darkness. It's all one thing. But there is information in all of it. And so when we embrace the wholeness of life and life experiences, then we don't turn away from the negative, we embrace it, and what we stop doing is giving it power as something separate from us that has control or dominion over us. That's what he means. He says turn away from the negative. So stop giving it dominion. It's not a thing in and of itself, but it does have information in it because it's a reflection of yours, ours, the consciousness. Because the thing I want to get here really clear is that what we do not do is look at negative experiences and say, well, what's wrong with your thinking? How did you create that? Right? Somebody asks you that, just punch him in the nose. No, I'm kidding. Promote nonviolence here. But it's an ineffective question, right? Because there's the collective experience and the collective consciousness that is contributing to that all of the time. And so we ask, how did it get created? What is the thought behind the thing? Because it's the thought that needs to change, not the person. Oh, y'all didn't catch me. Y'all didn't catch me. Because it's not about blame, right? It's not about shame. It's not about, well, how did you create that? What did you do wrong? What did you do? No, it's the thought. Did you know that you could have positive and negative thoughts? Right? But you're just you. It's the thought that changes, not you. You didn't do anything wrong, but you're choosing differently, right? So we don't look at ourselves and say, well, how did I create that? What a negative, stop that. It's not helping you. It's not helping anybody. But we have to be able to do the same thing on the collective. How did that get created? What are the thoughts that are behind that thing that keep it in place? And if we can ask that question without judgment, if we can ask that question with curiosity, if we can ask that question with a kind of a boldness of our spiritual fortitude and be willing to go in and embrace it, then we will find some answers that will actually make us very uncomfortable. Because it will show us exactly what we need to do and who we need to be to change the world. Are you ready? Let's look. I said I wanted to do this. I know I'm getting along. I promise I'm going to bring it all back together. Here's some information. This is from Mental Health America, from their website, mhanational.org. And they just put out a report every year about mental health kind of status. And I think all of these statistics are like, statistics are always lagging indicators because you're measuring something, but are you really getting all of the data? You're kind of getting a picture, and that's the best you can do. But I think a lot of these are highly inadequate to capture the full thing. But they're shocking nonetheless in and of themselves. They say that 21% of adults will experience this year a mental health crisis. That's over 50 million Americans. That's 1 in 5. That's several people in this room, right? It's somebody that you know that this year will have a mental health crisis of some kind. I can guarantee you that it's in the room without divulging names or stories. I can guarantee you. The percentage of adults reporting serious thoughts of suicide, 4.8%. That's over 12.1 million adults. That number jumps to 11% if the person identifies as more than one racial identity. 16% of youth report suffering from at least one major depressive episode in the past year. That's 2.7 million youth that are experiencing major depression. 55% of adults with a mental illness receive, I was going to create slides and all this for these, but I didn't do that because of the HRC thing. I apologize. But you can find this mhanational.org, their PDF of their most recent report. 55% of adults with a mental illness receive no treatment. 55% of adults with mental health challenge are receiving no treatment. That's 28 million individuals not getting care. Over 5.5 million of adults with mental illness are uninsured, couldn't get care if they wanted to. 60% of youth with major depression do not receive mental health treatment. In the U.S., there are for every 350 people in the United States, which is about 3 times as many people in this room, maybe 4 times, there's one mental health professional for every 350 people. That number, they've broken it down by state. In Georgia, it's 690 people to 1 mental health professionals available. Now, 20% of those are going to have a crisis this year. How many of them have insurance? How many of them are going to be able to get in, et cetera, et cetera. You can see 23% of adults who are experiencing 14 or more mental health unhealthy days each month, 14 days a month, are not able to receive care due to cost. 1 in 10 youth with private insurance do not have coverage in their private insurance from their parents for mental health or emotional difficulties. That's over 1.2 million youth. And then it goes into all kinds of details by state. Now, I say all of that to say this. The law of correspondence would say, look at it. What are those things revealing about the collective us? And what are we doing and choosing to be about it? Right? Now, I said that the spiritual practice was visioning today. Because the natural question is, well, what do we do? What do we do with all that? That was the first thing I thought that I did when I saw the news last night, and I went online and I saw the thoughts and prayers. I just can't even believe that any politician with any kind of awareness would have, in this day and age, after all that we've said about thoughts and prayers are not enough, would post anything about thoughts and prayers. But somebody from Texas I won't say who he is. You know who he is. But the first thing, our thoughts and prayers, our thoughts and prayers. And thoughts and prayers without action is hypocrisy. It's immoral. It's evil. To continue to pray for something to change, it's the equivalency of you saying, I want this to change in my life, while you do nothing about it. You don't pray about it. I'm going to pray about it, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to fill out a job application. I'm not going to ask anybody if they've got any insights for me. I'm not going to ask if there's work that I can do, but I'm going to pray for my prosperity and being rightly used in the world and employed. But I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to lift one finger. It's the old joke, the person who dies and goes to heaven, and then God says, but why didn't you save me? When I said, I sent the boat, I sent the helicopter, I sent the log, I sent the raft, I sent the rescue team, but you sat there in the water and prayed, right? Because you didn't do anything about it. So to continue this thoughts and prayers and doing nothing is immoral. It's bankrupt. And so we have to ask ourselves. And so immediately, I went on, I was like, enough, we got to do something. That's immediately where our mind goes, what must I do? Visioning invites us to ask a different question. And it's not just in the spiritual practice realm. It's actually, there's a really wonderful guy by the name of Ben McBride. Ben McBride in Oakland, California is a social justice advocate, teacher, trainer, everything. And he says this, which is something very New Thought. I don't know if he's connected to New Thought or not. I've never met him, but he says this. He says, the wrong first question is, what do we need to do? In relation to any social justice issue, pick the topic, whether it's gun violence, if it's abortion, if it's animal rights, if it's access to clean water, education, pick any topic. He says the wrong first question. I don't know if I made a slide for these. I did not, so never mind. The wrong first question is, what do we need to do? The right first question is, what must we become? This is a social justice, DEI advocate trainer in Oakland, California. This is not a New Thought minister. This is not Ernest Holmes. This is not Michael Beckwith. This is this guy, whoever he is, Ben McBride. The wrong first question is, what do we need to do? The right first question in changing the world, in social justice, and making a difference is, what must we become? And then, I meant to put this on the slide because it's so good, so you're just going to have to remember and listen closely. Come on, lean in. He says, and then, I love this. He says, and then we ask, what does that becoming, how does that becoming inform a doing that is not currently in my reach? The first question, what must I become in order that gun violence ends, in order that there's clean water, the environment is protected, or whatever your passionate issue is, or your own personal life, right? In order that you are living the life of your dreams, employed at the level that you've always dreamed for, in the relationship that you desire. Pick the issue. It doesn't matter. It's all interchangeable because principle is the same at all scales and levels of the universe, right? So personal and outer. There's no difference. What must I become? And then, how does that becoming inform a doing that is not currently in my reach? And then he says, the next question is, what are we doing such that the gap between ourselves and those on the underside of privilege is getting closed every day? What are we doing such that the gap between ourselves and those on the underside of privilege and rights and all of that, he says it a certain way, and I don't have that one in front of me here, but such that that gap is getting closed a little bit every day? What must I become? And if we were to sit with that and say, what must occur within me? William Barber spoke last night, and I promise I'll close with this. William Barber spoke last night at the HRC dinner. Got the Civil Rights Award. If you don't know who he is, I highly encourage you to look him up. He's the current co-chair of the National Poor People's Campaign, which was the campaign that Martin Luther King started before he was assassinated, to really emphasize rights of low-income wealth workers, and to galvanize and join those forces across all differences between Christian and non-Christian, gay, straight, black, white, etc. That if we to galvanize the force of low-income wealth workers, we would have a coalition that would be bigger than any opposition that opposes it, right? And so William Barber's been doing this work for about 10 years now. I serve on a council of bishops that actually made him Bishop William Barber. And so we work closely between the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries and his organization on several issues. And he talked about last night, he said, if we galvanize everybody and voters who are eligible, low-income eligible voters who did not vote in the last election, right, what percentage do you think of those that we would have to actually get to the polls to completely flip all of this stuff that we're all the anti-trans, to codify abortion as a right in the country, as all of the stuff, right? And to make sure that we can actually read books that have actual American history in them, and all the stuff that we're going, oh my God, we got to fight, as if there's a force that is against common sense and all of this other stuff. And you say, it's the presence of people, and the force is already there. I saw a hand. It's nationally, it's less than 2%, right? In Georgia, it's 7%. In Minnesota, it's 1%. And you can look it up. You can see in Georgia, for example, the gap, the voter gap was what, 3,000 votes? There were 33,000 low and income eligible voters who did not vote. So you need only 7% of them to actually participate in the process, right? In other words, the power is there. So the question then is, what must I become so that my doing is informed by my becoming? I'm becoming more aware. I'm becoming more compassionate. I'm becoming more loving. I'm becoming in any area. If you say, oh, I don't want to talk about social issues, that's fine. Replace everything that when you hear me say that, replace it with your own personal stuff. I want to become more prosperous. I want to become more healthy. I want to have the best retirement. I want to have the best career. I want to have the best relationship. I want to have the best whatever. Fill that in, because the principle will be exactly the same. What must I become? And how would that becoming inform a doing that's not currently in my reach? And then how do I close the gap between here and there? The principle is congruency. The spiritual law is the law of correspondence. The universe wants to correspond between your inner and your outer experience and bring them into harmony. And the practice to get there is through this visioning and asking these questions. And if we're really willing to go there, what we'll discover is that the answers are already here, already available. We just have to be willing to step in and to become that which the Spirit is calling us to become. All of these things are happening. All of the anxiety, all of the drama, all of the, things that are happening in legislation and all of this stuff is happening to get our attention. Are you willing to become what you need to become to change all of that? Or are you just going to sit back and be a victim of it? Are you just going to sit back and be subject to it? Are you just going to sit back and let somebody else wield the wheels of power? You wouldn't do that in your own individual life. You wouldn't sit there and just be a victim of somebody else controlling what you do, how you do it, where you do it, all these other things. No, you'd stand up and say, I've got the power here to decide the experience that I want to have. It's already within me, and I get to direct it and guide it and force it and shape it through my becoming and my doing, through congruency, that the inner matches the outer matches the inner, so on and so forth, such that what I'm seeing in the inward vision of what's possible for my life, I'm actually putting effort into making sure that I'm doing a little bit of that every day. So the universe sees my effort and says, okay, you're beginning to move. Sometimes your becoming informs your doing, and sometimes your doing informs your becoming. You don't become a great musician just thinking about it, right? You practice, don't you? I did it myself, right? I played like 10, 12 years of my life. I played viola in the orchestra, right? And I had to take those measures and I had to slow them down. I had to say, you know what, that is too fast. I can't figure, it's just too complicated, right? And I had to slow it down, had to listen to it, had to be willing to become the song inside of me. But then I had to have my becoming match my doing, and my doing match my becoming. And so my doing, what I did was I slowed it down. I took something that went 1, 2, 3, 4 and turned it into 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, my finger's supposed to go here and then there, and right, and slow it down so that I could get it. So I'm doing something, but I'm doing it slowly, carefully, methodically, such that I can then say, okay, I got that. I got what that pattern is. I got what that rhythm is. I got what the melody is. Now let me speed it up. Let me move it to halftime and see if I can do it. Oh, okay, now that feels a little bit better. Let me add another measure onto it. Let me add another bar onto it. Let me put it all together now. Let me try it in real time and see where I trip up and where I lose my footing and get distracted. And right? You do what you're doing is practicing so that you can become the thing that's on the page or the vision that you hear. You understand what I'm saying? Congruency, that our doing, the reason we have this happening over and over and over and over right now in our society is because we are out of congruency. Our doing isn't matching the vision of what we want to be and what we say. And that's why it's so frustrating to hear politicians say thoughts and prayers. But you know what? We actually have the power to say anybody who has the audacity to say that and not put their feet to actually changing laws can just go home and sit down because they violated the public trust of a public official. It's just, it's not personal. It's just like we just need somebody else to do the job. You're not willing to do the job? It's okay. We just need somebody else because the majority of people want this to happen. If you're not willing to do it, then we just need to find somebody else. That's all. Because you wouldn't allow yourself to not be willing to do what it takes to bring your vision forward. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm just kind of circling and going on now, and I probably am. But it's been a day and a night and a weekend. Woo, Jesus! My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. Help me land the plane. Land the plane, somebody. We got an affirmation and some guidance. Somebody said, "Praise the Lord, He's going to land the plane." Get over to that new church. At least there's a kitchen down the hallway. Turn on the volume and just go listen to them and get in line. We'll let you get out of here in a minute. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. Allow my journey of becoming to inform my doing, and my doing to inform my becoming. Let's say that together. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. I allow my journey of becoming to inform my doing, and my doing to inform my becoming. And so it is. We're on the path of bringing light out of the shadows here, and I'm so grateful and thankful. Peace and blessings.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give her another big hand, Yolanda Williams. It is well. It is well with my soul. Thank you so much. And Reverend David, thank you for that wonderful message. What must I become? Yes, indeed. We must be willing to do what it takes to bring that vision forward. Thank you very much. All right, we have our assignment. All right. And thank you all for choosing the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta as part of your celebration today. As we enter our time of grateful giving, we want to thank each of you for faithfully giving to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. It is because of your contributions that we can continue to spread our message of oneness. Did you all enjoy that message today, the entire service? All right. So, and it says, if you were inspired by the message, and you just said you were, today, today, please consider becoming a reoccurring pleasure or give what is on your heart today. You can conveniently text your gift to 404-800-9467. You may also give with a credit card on our website or using our digital program with the QR code displayed on the screen. If you wish to give by cash, that's silent money that makes big things happen, or a check. A member of our welcome team will be coming through the aisle shortly to receive your contribution. As you hold your pledge card or your gift at your heart, please join me in saying our grateful giving affirmation. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
Yes. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. Yeah, when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest, I am blessed. I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Come on up. Yeah. I am blessed. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, hopefully all of you all are blessed today. Yes, afternoon, divine light beings of the world. Yes. Hello, I am Jamel Morris. I proudly serve on the creative arts team here at SLCA. If this is your first time at SLCA, please stand, rise, or raise your hand so we can acknowledge you right now. Any first timers?
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. A member of our welcome team would like to give you a card. Please take a moment to fill it out and return it to a welcome ambassador in the lobby to receive a special gift. welcome, you belong. For those of you that want to know more about our center or how to become a member, please connect with a member of our welcome team after service in the lobby or online. We have so many great opportunities to connect, grow, serve, and give at SLCA. For more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, please scan the QR code found on our monitors. Prayer works. Yes, it does. Yes. It is not too late to register for Reverend Avon Drummond's CSL certificated course, The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. The class began last Wednesday and will meet each Wednesday evening, both at SLCA and on Zoom through June the 7th. Reverend Avon guides us in exploring the principles and practices of science of mind with an emphasis on the use of daily spiritual treatment. This is the last week you will be able to sign up on Breeze, so make it a point to sign up tonight. Imagine life with more resiliency, more buoyancy. SLCA is delighted to welcome best-selling author Monica Parker, who will join us after service today to share with you just how to do that with her book, The Power of Wonder. Monica believes that if we meet our life and each other with a greater sense of wonder, that we will become better, more tolerant humans, and that will make a better, more tolerant world. That works for all of us. Monica is the daughter of our wonderful SLCA member, Catherine Rogers. Reverend Susan Zoller is back for part 2 of From Fear to Faith on May 21st. This insightful workshop can help us learn how to respond from a foundation of faith rather than a fear-based reaction. Using science of mind principles, we can recognize fear, how it motivates us, and what beliefs are the basis. We will learn how to live richer lives by releasing seen and unseen results of negative anticipation by moving from fear to faith. Even if you couldn't attend part 1, this workshop is for you. Will our practitioners please make yourself known in person and online chat now to be recognized? Thank you. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is okay to be okay. It is okay to not be okay sometimes, and it is okay. We want you to know that right here you are in this moment. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. And I love you. We welcome each of you in need of prayer to remain in the room or reach out to a practitioner online for one-on-one prayer with a licensed practitioner. In-person practitioners will be sitting in chairs on both sides of the room following service today. Have some prayer. It works and changes things. Thank you for joining us this morning. Remember, you belong. Please join me in welcoming back Reverend David Alexander to lead us in our community affirmation. Thank you.
All right, so you know SLCA is on the move. We've got just a few more weeks here. We announced we've been doing this affirmation, and it has worked. The law has responded to our consciousness. Hallelujah. And so June 4th, mark your calendars, June 4th, it's first Sunday in June, we will be in the afternoons at UUCA. That's, 2640 North Druid Hills, whatever it is. We're going to say it every week between now and then so that you know, but just a few more weeks here for morning services. I'm telling you what, I'm already excited about next year's HRC dinner because I won't be tired of doing my notes in the middle of the night. I can sleep in and still get to church on time. Hallelujah. Next year, I'm buying after ticket parties so I can dance. So we'll be moving to 3 o'clock starting in June. Just a few more weeks here for morning services. Let's pack this room, fill it with love, and we're going to carry it all over with us. And so with that, would you please stand on your feet if you're able? We'll do our closing affirmation and then our song. Let's affirm together. Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta is a divine idea in the mind of God, and as such has all that it needs to fulfill its mission, including the perfect space from which to do its perfect and holy work. And so it is. And so we are. Thank you all. Have a great week.
We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. Everyone. I want to make sure that you stay around. We have beautiful food and beautiful communities, so don't go anywhere. Our workshop is about to start, so make sure you grab some food and stay in the room with us. We look forward to being with each of you. Our workshop is about to begin. Make sure you enjoy some food and bring your plate forward.